The voice is just a very, very exposed expression of our inner world. I cannot hide. When I speak, there's music to my voice, and this music reveals a lot of what's going on inside, so much more than the words that I choose. It's beyond words. Words are kind of very limited to try and contain and encapsulate emotions. And the music is showing so much more. The voice shows so much more. And just to relax into that, most of my work, I don't teach anyone how to sing. I'm not here to do that. I think we're all masters of voice. My words are carried on top of music. And this music is something I've been practicing since day one, so I'm a master of my own voice. And just to be in awe in front of that, to relax into that, to admire our own voice and the messages that are there, to take the voice out of the cage of entertainment and accomplishment and goal into a place of medicine, of deep emotional, mental communication. And once we observe it that way, we immediately realize that we are exposed, that we are intimate with each other. When we have a conversation, there is a level of intimacy that is there. It can be spoken of, it can be not. It doesn't matter, it's there. We expose ourselves. And I think this is what we need. We need to be proud of this, whatever it is inside, to relax into that and to hold it with pride, with really being proud of life for creating that.
Hello and welcome. Welcome to All Our Pieces, a soul-seeking podcast where we, Bella Cummins and Sky Gerlowski, invite you to join us on this soul discovery journey. And today we share our conversation with Uria, whose vocal freedom workshop I attended in the jungles of southern Mexico this year. And since those days, I am still astounded by the ways in which it has impacted me, impacted my voice, impacted the freedom I feel to express myself. And I even mentioned in this conversation how, thanks to that workshop, I was so inspired to overcome some of the hurdles, some of the self-doubts and hesitations I had about creating this very podcast. And there's something about Uria and something about this conversation that's incredibly uplifting and so hopeful in such a grounded and real way. While I was editing the episode, I couldn't help but tear up like 2 more times, at least. Craziness. It's just like when we hear a truth resonate so deeply inside of us, or a truth that we've been longing to hear and maybe didn't even know it. Like when you see beauty in nature, inherent beauty, you can't help but tear up a little bit. And I can tell you that, yeah, we talk about stage fright, we talk about holding space, the essence of our voices, but really when it comes down to it, we speak on vulnerability. We speak on being human. We speak on coming together in intimacy and together as a global community. Uria was born and raised in Israel, and once out of the IDF at the age of 21, he has been traveling the world in search of an authentic form of life. At the age of 29, he turned to music as his main instrument and has been developing heartfelt social technologies which are designed to bridge the gap between people while empowering the unique qualities of each individual. And so now, without further ado, we bring to you a glimpse into all our pieces. From the experience of being in your voice activation workshop, which still to this day, I remember it so fondly in my heart. And it actually has it plays a big role in this podcast because it was right before we went to that festival that we were supposed to start recording our episodes. But I kept feeling like something was blocked still. I wasn't quite ready. And after attending your workshop and getting my voice open and experiencing the way in which you facilitated that space, in which you had people arrive into that space, and especially the art of holding space. Once I came back, I felt ready.
Nice. I'm so happy to hear that, This is the voice is not really the issue here. It's more like the voice is a portal into our inner world and into this human experience that we're sharing, and everything that work goes with it, all of this like the doubt and the shame and the glory and the beauty and the depths and the vulnerability, and there's so much in the human experience, and we are work in progress all the time, and there's always a bright potential. And to bring ourselves out into this world it has to go through so much every time, and to hear that you took it and you felt ready. You realized that you're ready. It's not that you became ready. It's kind of you uncovered your readiness.
Yes. I don't know if it made me ready, because the readiness is still unfolding, but it gave me the confidence to go into it anyways. And it helped a lot too, because just until the last maybe 2 episodes, I was dealing with horrible stage fright. Before every single episode, my hands would be palming. I would feel like I was going to barf. My face muscles would feel funny. like so difficult to really just like be here using all my exercises, all the tapping and breathing and meditating before. And it really it took a good maybe 8 or 9 episodes to really start to relax into that. But so hearing your words on that was very helpful too. Could you give us a few words on stage fright?
It's a friend, stage fright. It's not a problem. It's an aspect of ourselves. It's an indicator that I am stepping out of my personal consciousness into my collective consciousness, that I'm holding space right now. And to hold space is such a big responsibility. It's more than what I can. Yeah, it's beyond the responsibility that I can actually take. It's bigger than me. And it takes a certain amount of letting go into the wisdom of the collective that I am. Okay, I am Uria. I am a representative of Israel. I am a representative of the human race. I am the voice of life. I am a voice of life. And when I dive deeper into these dimensions, every time I dive deeper into this dimension, it's so vast. It's beyond my capacity to contain. And it can really shake me off, because it makes me realize that it's not in my control. And to be not in control is scary, and is the condition of holding space. I have to step out of control. I have to let the collective speak through me. So being afraid is actually a crucial element. I have to be a little bit afraid in order to know that I am tapping into the collective consciousness.
Is there a point where it's too much?
Well, it seems too much. Yeah. It seems too much. And in the same time, the space that I'm holding gives me strength. The too muchness of it is usually a moment before. It's me with my ideas trying to grasp the situation, to understand it, to control it. And then it's too much because I can't control it. So it's beyond my control. It's too much. Once I'm not trying to control it anymore, and I'm just understanding, okay, right now I'm terrified because it's a moment before. And once I'm going to step into it and do another step and another step inside, it'll kind of carry me through. It'll take me. The current will carry me with the river. And
interesting.
Yeah. And then from all of our experiences, it starts with being terrifying. And then once you step into it, it kind of flows. So the fear is only in front of my ideas of how it should be and trying to grasp control. Once I let go of that, once I get used to letting go of that and I start trusting this flow, then it becomes a bit less scary. It still is scary. It's just I'm not afraid of being afraid. Kind of recognize, oh, here it is, here it is, oh, here it is, here it is. I'm entering the space. Something in my personal consciousness is kind of letting go, and I'm easing into this great wide ocean of options and opportunities and intelligence that is flowing through.
I like that. I was journaling about that fear. I was finding that it was coming from a place of, I think, wanting to sound a certain way, maybe intelligent, maybe have something profound to say. You know, how sometimes when I'm speaking with the people who come on here, there's so much amazing information and wisdom being shared, and putting on ourselves that personal responsibility of thinking like, oh, well, I need to be this way or sound this way or do whatever. And that was what was getting in the way.
Yeah.
That was what was
Exactly.
getting in the way. Yeah.
Exactly.
And so now if I just because I write down questions mostly for my mind before to prepare, but then during the actual process, I like to really zoom in, like have all aspects of me active listening, and instead to have my voice be something that I don't even really know what I'm going to say.
Yeah. It's like every conversation we have, we don't sit down at home, okay, she's going to say that, and I'm going to say this, and then she's going to say that, and then and if she's going to say that, I'm going to say, no, we just kind of flow in and we improvise, and it's easy.
Yeah.
It just flows out of us. And it's the same with holding space. Once we step into the conversation, if I'll think about a conversation with a good friend that I'm going to meet, or I don't know, a colleague, or an employer, or I'll get freaked out. But if I'll just step into it, it'll happen. Life is something that flows through us.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the only advice really to get through those strong emotions is just to keep taking a step at a time and to try to release into the process.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
To let go into it, to trust. It's a lot of faith.
Yeah.
It's a lot of trusting life's wisdom. I am life's creation, and life's wisdom flows through me. And if life put me in this space, life gave me the will to open a workshop, to invite for a workshop. I didn't choose this will. It's something that kind of came in from me. And then I'm doing the steps, and then I get to this place, and then life brought the specific people that came to be partners in this, and they will go through what they go through. One person will be completely amazed by what I say, and the other person will be like, nah, I wasted a bunch of money here. I should have went to a different, I should have went surfing. And this is his gift, and this is her gift, and it's okay. It's what it is. I cannot control it. I can just do my thing, hold space, and trust that people go through a learning process, that the nature of life, to have faith that the nature of life is beneficial, that life is here to help us grow, that everything happens for a good, purposeful reason. So once I strengthen this muscle, the muscle of faith in life, having life's experience helps, because with time we look back and we see everything we went through, even the tough stuff, is kind of, we've learned something from it, and it gave us tools that now we can utilize in our journey of sharing ourselves in this world. So life's experience helps, and practicing and surrounding ourselves with people and speaking the language. And eventually it's faith that helps us ease into life's wisdom, because our nature is separation. Our nature is life is there, I am here. This is outside and this is inside, but it's not. It's one mechanism. I'm kind of live receiving a separate ego to observe itself. Yeah. And it creates so much resistance inside and so much movement and so much tension. And within this field of tension, we dance and we learn and we grow and we have point of reference. Like through separation, I can observe unity. If I was unity, I cannot observe unity. I am unity.
Like the whole duality, right? In order to see one thing, you have to experience the other.
Exactly. It's a very common cliche, and this is it. This is basically it.
Yeah. Well, usually the most simple things can explain all of the complicated things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess I want to know, how did you get to this point? You talked about how your struggles and, our dark times and our good times, but they all come together to kind of extract our medicine for the world.
Yeah.
So how did you end up being this traveling workshop ceremony leader? And then also, like, what is the essence of what you do teach in your workshops?
Life kind of initiated me in this way. I think, the right things happened that kind of pushed me out of the mainstream pathway of, in Israel, it's school, high school, army, then a short world backpacking journey, and then university, and then career, and so on. And I think somewhere in the army, I was raised in a very mainstream environment. And I think somewhere in the army, I got injured and kind of was shut out, like from this race of accomplishing another goal and another goal and another stage and another stage. And I woke up to figure out that wait, I'm running after things that I don't believe in. Something is wrong here. They're teaching me how to shoot guns at people that I don't know. It's not my way. I cannot relax into that. And ever since then, I just kind of always went off the beaten track. I kind of looked for my own path. I took my time. I traveled the world a lot. I met a lot of people all the time. Yeah, and it kind of just happened, I think it starts with a passion that I carry to connect with people. I love people. I really, I see everyone interests me. I want to be close and intimate with everyone because people are great. People are so sweet and interesting and mysterious. Yeah, I think this maybe is the key, like the key element that is pushing me to do what I'm doing. Because what I do now in my workshop is I open a space where we can be intimate in very big groups of people. We've experienced our workshop at La Presencia with 120 people. After 1 hour of workshop, even less, after the first few moments, everybody relaxes into, okay, we're in this together. We're all work in progress. We're all vulnerable human beings. We're all doing our best. We're all full of shadows. We're all carrying archetypal trauma. We're all glorious and beautiful. We're all different and once in a universe unique. And we're all in this together. And I think this passion is always teaching me how to do it in a wider and wider way. So by now I'm holding these versions of this workshop in spaces of up to 2,000 people. And it still creates the same level of intimacy, the same level of, maybe not the same depth in intimacy. It's more of a wide experience when we're so many people. You cannot, usually it's also shorter when it's so many people. Yet still it creates this frequency of, okay, I can open my heart and I can have this spark in my eyes and be curious and be open and be whatever I am. And still walk between all of these people. I think it's my passion of being open and intimate with everyone that drives me to create, to find more and more instruments and tools that will allow this experience for myself, you know?
Did you always feel that way about people? That connection with individual people?
Yeah. I was always
Wow, that's
very,
incredible.
very interested in people. I wanted to be close with everyone that's willing, basically. Even if we come from different worlds, it's still something that is it's like this innate tendency that I came with. I think we're all like that, deep inside. We're curious. We want to really meet people. And it's just in a very early stage we get blocked. Like, not from a bad place, just from being unaware. Humanity, we're so young still. We don't know how to educate ourselves. So we use a lot of cynical words and sarcasm, and yeah, we just develop a very thick skin, in a very early age. Just something, I don't know, something in me sees beyond this skin.
Yeah, the conditioning, beyond the conditioning.
Yeah, beyond the conditioning, underneath all of these layers, there's still this baby that came here with open eyes, curiosity, and an open heart. Look at a baby. Doesn't matter where he's from and who's his parents. If you look in his eyes and you smile, we shine. We come here to this world and we shine at anyone, at everyone. And just with time, we become more and more careful. If we can pass through these layers, and it's easy to really just maneuver through into the heart. I think if we trust, if we bring our hearts, if we come with our heart open, respectfully open, not like I won't jump hugging the cashier in the supermarket. I'll be respectful.
Yeah. Needs to be some boundaries.
Yeah, it has to have boundaries in a respectful way, and beyond that, it's something that is, it's a path that is there towards everyone. And if I can't find it, it doesn't mean that it's not there. It just means that I didn't find it yet.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm glad that you asked that question, Sky, because too, my first kind of feeling, both of us are like, wait a second. Well, because both Sky and I, in our own journeys, we've had to tackle a lot of being afraid of people. And I can say in my own experience, I think my heart chakra is one of the things that's the most open, but yet I'm still scared of people in many ways. And I do think that it's that struggle, that fight between having so much love and wanting to connect so much, but then I get in front of people and then that same type of like stage fright feeling will come up. That like, oh, I want this. But then when the time comes, like a kind of choking. And so I guess if we apply the same principles, just like one step at a time, which I have done, but I wonder if you do have any suggestions for people who have come from the opposite, who haven't always been so open to being vulnerable and intimate, or maybe it always hasn't been a safe space, of how to start opening that back up in our daily lives.
Yeah. It's never a safe space. It never feels like a safe space. Okay. Also for me, with the natural tendency towards it, there's always more to open. I'm always more closed than I would like to be. I think it's a biological thing that is kind of, we're tribal beings. Yeah, we come from tribes before just a little bit before the Western, the Roman fashion or the imperial fashion. We've been living in tribes, and we've been depending on our tribe accepting us. If I'm kicked out of the tribe, it means I'm going to die. Like a saber-toothed tiger is going to. If I'm going to be walking by myself, and no, we kind of work together. We protect ourselves together. We're not supposed to be walking alone.
Yeah.
And this fear is real. It's a very biological fear. We're safer nowadays. We can really allow ourselves to be more open. And there's always more. There's always more to open up. So I think my suggestion to people is just to realize that recognizing where I am blocked is all there is to it. It's just relaxing into that, seeing, okay, here I'm blocked over here. And to be okay with it. To be okay with it. First of all, to see it, to understand that, okay, I'm bringing a blockage into this. How can I, and then to open this question inside of me. How can I open? How can I relax a little bit more? How can I trust a little bit more? How can I step a bit outside of my comfort zone and do this work? And then this little bit outside of my comfort zone will become my new comfort zone. And then there will be a little bit outside of that comfort zone as well. And it's infinite. So it's a work in progress. I'm usually my sensation while holding space is I'm not open enough. I can be more open. I can be more. I'm still thinking about what will they think of me. I'm still trying to supply the goods. I'm still and I'm recognizing all of these areas in me. Maybe from the outside you won't see, but from the inside, from the like the pixels that I'm working in, like in the screen, I'm very, very deep there, but I'm still working away from center. I still recognize center as something that I have to strive towards.
Mm-hmm. Do you think we'll ever get it, or do you believe that it is infinite, at least maybe on this earth?
I think in this structure, in this physical dense dimension, the essence is working towards, is not getting there.
That's just the journey of the human.
And in a wider and like in the eagle view, we won. This is it. This is perfect. It's never going to get more perfect than this. It maybe will get finer a little bit. Maybe there'll be, lesser things will cause the turbulence inside that moves us towards the next step in our evolution. Right now it's violence that brings me bloodshed that pushes me towards the next step in evolution, and down the road it'll be just a tough word that will kind of contract me and will push me towards my center.
So what do you mean that the violence is the thing for you now? It's the thing that's making you feel uncomfortable?
It's when violence is a symptom of fear, of separation, of the lack of love. And there will always be areas with lack of love. Since I am a separate being, or I experience this world as a separate being, so I will always have a level, another level, and underneath that another level and another level, and the infinite stuff. So I will always have more work to do. So to hold this tension between where I am and the potential of where I can be is like a constant element in this life's experience.
I love it. And then what Sky and I always say too is to fall in love with the process.
Exactly.
I can't say that enough times.
Yeah. I think it's like, and like the whole what did Raymer Radicki say? Something about, like not trying to go for the answers, but to fall in love with living the question.
Yeah.
And so I would really love to start like tying back the voice into all of this, into space holding, into remembering ourselves. And I really love too the concept of remembering the world, the global community.
Yeah.
And it seems like voice is one of your main modalities for you to kind of go towards that goal.
Yeah. The voice is just a very, very exposed expression of our inner world. I cannot hide. When I speak, there's music to my voice, and this music reveals a lot of what's going on inside, so much more than the words that I choose. It's beyond words. Words are kind of very limited to try and contain and encapsulate emotions. And the music is showing so much more. The voice shows so much more. And just to relax into that, most of my work, I don't teach anyone how to sing. I'm not here to do that. I think we're all masters of voice. My words are carried on top of music. And this music is something I've been practicing since day one. So I'm a master of my own voice. And just to be in awe in front of that, to relax into that, to admire our own voice and the messages that are there, to take the voice out of the cage of entertainment and accomplishment and goal into a place of medicine, of deep emotional, mental communication. And once we observe it that way, we immediately realize that we are exposed, that we are intimate with each other. When we have a conversation, there is a level of intimacy that is there. It can be spoken of, it can be not. It doesn't matter. It's there. We expose ourselves. And I think this is what we need. We need to to be proud of this, whatever it is inside, to relax into that and to hold it with pride, with really being proud of life for creating that.
And then expressing it.
Yeah, and expressing it and letting it be expressed. It's only my ideas that are against what is inside. What is inside is what is supposed to be inside. Who am I to resist it, to judge it, to say, no, it's not. Listen, divine field of consciousness, this is not really fine. Like, you kind of messed up here, but don't worry, I'll fix it. And one day it'll be worthy of being spoken into this world. It's just our ego trying to kind of, grab hold.
So you're saying that that's like us almost like gaslighting ourselves, right? Like, body, you are incorrect, but let me change this a little bit until you are like, okay to be.
It's complete arrogance. It's just a sweet human arrogance, and and it's okay that it's there. Once again, I have to be separate and I have to have this ego in order to have the conversation with you. If I won't have that, then we will be like one divine soup and we cannot have a conversation. We will be
Uria, I've never done this before, but I had to open up sticky notes and I've been taking all these quotes down, and now I'm at divine soup and I don't even know what to do anymore. You're blowing my mind. One divine soup, that's hilarious. Oh my goodness, I can. Thank you so much for speaking with us. Wow. Yeah, that has given me a whole new appreciation for life. Like the sweet human arrogance, because otherwise we would just be in one divine soup and we wouldn't be able to experience all of this. So, wow.
Yeah. Everything is here for a purpose. Even the things that we judge and we're like kind of pushing away, it has a purpose. If I don't know the purpose, doesn't mean it doesn't have a purpose. It just means that I, little me, still didn't get it. And it's okay. I'm learning. I came here with no, how do you call the booklet that you get with your device? A manual. Yeah. I didn't come with a manual. I'm just figuring out as I go. And there's so much to figure out. Oh my God, this place is infinitely, amazingly glorious and wonderful. And there's so much to learn. So just to have patience and to enjoy the ride, we're doing our best.
Wow. I also wrote that down, the bit you mentioned, don't be afraid of all these systems and all this change. We're doing our best. Humanity is doing their best. And wow. Yeah.
Same like, it's same. We're a fractal being, it's, I am humanity. And I am the Israelites, and I'm Uria. Yeah. So I have my dark side and I have my bright side. I have the places where I'm conscious and aware, and I have the places where I'm driven out of addictions and habits and darkness. And it's something that it's there, nobody can deny it. We're all like that. And we're the same. And as a parent to children, I wanna embrace. Not that I succeed all the time. Yeah, I'm judgmental and I'm human. But my wish is to embrace their journey where they are, to let them be, to say, hey, it's okay. It's okay. This is what you are. You have your dark side. You have your bright side. You're doing your best. Come, come, let's be together in this, So I'm saying this to my child. I'm saying this to myself. I'm saying this to humanity, to the bankers, to the politicians, to the guys cutting off the rainforests, to the guys that are trying to save them, to the guys that are going towards activism from all the wrong reasons, for everything, so to kind of to embrace, to accept with compassion this organism that we are.
I love that. I love that because I don't think that we talk enough as a collective about some of the people or groups of people that we don't think are deserving of love in this world. Like, oh, all light and love and, everybody come together to work for the good stuff and this and that. But then if we're all one, then we are also one with certain groups of people that we think are terrorizing the world.
Yes.
And if we are going to heal as a collective, and this podcast is all of our pieces, and I named it that way because I want to include all of our pieces, not just as individual, but as a collective. And I think it's so important that we start having conversations around like, it's not we are all one, except for those people who are cutting down rainforests, who are starting wars, who are doing.
No, we are cutting rainforests.
Yeah.
We're starting wars. We're singing in singing circles. We are. It's. There is no them.
Yeah.
There is no them. This is something that can really help us relax and open our hearts to ourselves and to this life, is once we realize that there is no them. What they did with the vaccination. No, it's what we did with the vaccinations. And suddenly it's something like, whoa, suddenly I realized that it's a childish attempt of doing good in the best way that we can, and it's still so complex, and we're still so far away from the unity that we long for.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in a way, thank God that we're so far away from this unity that we long for, because there is so much more to walk. Once we get there, this whole existence is about being on the way towards. So it's
Sky.
I thought that Bella was going to be the first one to cry on the podcast, not me. Oh my goodness. I need like an integration after this.
Yeah. This will just be one of those times that we listen back multiple times to get all the juiciness and all the amazingness. It really is. But yeah, I really, really appreciate everything that you're saying because it's so inclusive and we're missing that so much. And really this idea of there's never any us and them. There never is. Even in the most horrendous acts that we see out there, there's ways in which we can understand that and apply love to that. Just like in the horrendous acts that we don't want to see in ourselves. I mean, I think it's all just this like this loop of we can't see things in ourselves, so then we blame others outside of ourselves. And we do that on a grand scale, and that's what creates the wars. That's what creates shootings, mass shootings. And so you're right. If it is coming from this like cycle of avoidance in ourselves and the damning of aspects of ourselves, then we damn the aspects of other people. And then a lot of these horrendous, horrible acts happen in the world. And so like it does always come from us as well, but it's so easy for so many of us to blame. I wonder what that is and what we can do to like as individuals, like today, like what maybe small steps we can take to start.
Just take responsibility. Take full responsibility for the way the world is. Not as a blame thing, not with shame or anything, but just take full responsibility for the way the world is. There is never somebody on the outside that is responsible for your inner sensation. These inner sensations are there. We just kind of shed light through our interactions on specific emotions and sensations and human experiences inside. Instead of saying, you did bad, you made me feel sad, I'm saying, thank you for exposing this emotion in me. Thank you for bringing it up to the surface. Now I can work with it.
Yeah,
Now I
like
can work
that.
with it. This is like the intimate relationship with your significant other. It's about giving a deeper and deeper and deeper reflection into your world. So you have to deal with your inner self. So you have to meet places in yourself that maybe like without my partner, I would sweep under the carpet so many things. I would just rather not deal with it. With my addictions, with my habits, with my all of that. Let's not go into details right now. We know it. I don't need to go into details because we're all that.
Yeah, we all have
and
it.
it's just when I'm kind of doing this movement of pulling the carpet up and sweeping under it, and she's there watching me, I cannot. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is it. Okay.
I'm exposed.
I'm exposed, and then I have to work, and then I work with it. I do the process. It's just an engine of growth. Every person that comes into my life is an angel that is shedding light on another aspect of myself and another aspect of myself. And the less I resist, the more, because life will not let go. Life wants to give me a gift, they will give it to me. And it's all gifts. Also my suffering and my pain and my sorrow and my jealousy and my everything. It's all gifts. So the quicker I will relax into it and will allow life to present whatever it is, the quicker I will receive its gift, and the quicker it can transform into something else and clear space for the next challenge to come, for the next reflection, deeper reflection to come.
Do you have any tools for when that deep suffering, that deep pain is present within us, and maybe we feel like we haven't, or that we have done so much work on taking responsibility of opening up our hearts, and yet some pain can persist? Do you have any tools or any advice on
Communication. To communicate it. Yeah. If it's through words, through a NVC, if it's through a talking circle, if it's just through a conversation with a good friend, just exposing it without trying to solve it, just giving it place, and then communicating it with words or with voice, with song. If I'm right now experiencing something, I can use my voice to say, it's not about being a beautiful thing. It's about meeting myself. It's going deep inside and meeting my voice and what it is right now, and just giving it space in this life. If it comes up from within, it just wants to be out there. Yeah. It wants to be expressed. And once I give it space, once again, I learn my deepest temple of spiritual teachings and practices, my relationship with my partner, with my significant other, is not only with her, my long-lasting relationships, because they become a very, very deep reflection. And just like when she brings something up and she's like, I don't feel, I feel contracted. I feel that you don't see me, that you're not here enough, And the times that I cannot respond towards it and say, no, but listen, I can do that, or like, you're not right, but I just give it space. Mm-hmm. Then it receives its attention, and then we learn things from it, and it moves, and the energy flows. I don't resist the energy, I just let it flow. And this is why music and voice are such an amazing instrument, because music is a flow art. It's a flow art. It's something that happens, and we all have it. We all have this instrument, and as I said before, we're all masters of it. We've been using it all the time.
Yeah. We all have a voice to use too. So since your workshop, and also with some encouragement from Nadi Yogi that we brought on to the podcast as well, who's my friend from Thailand. It's an incredible episode. And so the encouragement of both you two, I went from, before the workshop to, if I saw somebody singing like from their soul, I would just bawl my eyes out. One, because it's beautiful, and two, because of this like intense longing, this intense desire of wanting to do the same, but not being able to bring myself to do so. And so, after your workshop, I started like humming here and there. I started, like you said, if I'm in a moment of pain, like really bringing voice to that, guttural sounds, any type of sound. And what I truly loved about your workshop is, you're right, you don't teach people how to sing. You almost teach people to take everything that you've learned about how to sing and throw it out and just like come from something deeper, connect with you. And what comes out, even if it at first doesn't sound pretty, like it ends up being beautiful because it's an honest expression.
Yeah.
And I found that before, when I would try to sound a certain way, I could not find the right pitch. But if I come from this place where I don't care what the sound sounds like, or if it's shaky, or if it's guttural, then I'm like automatically on pitch somehow. And relaxing into the shakiness, actually, I stood up in one of your circles in front of, how many people did we have?
120.
120. And I was one of the first ones, to stand up in that circle, and was singing, and my legs started to shake a little bit. And so I started to like go back, and you're like, no, like go into the shakiness, go into it. My body started violently shaking. But my right leg was like going like crazy, but it felt alive. I think it's just like, it's such desire and wanting to come out for so long. But now in my own practices, like I'm singing almost daily, and in a complete different way than I ever had before. And it's become one of my most not just sacred, but loving to me, really loving to me practice, to be able to slowly start to use my voice. I even have stickers around my room that says, I love my voice. I guess I'm saying this, I was so grateful for your experience, and also to encourage any of the listeners to start in any small way to use their voice. Like for me, for humming, or I even like spoke out loud by myself in my dark room. And even that was weird. Like I've only used my voice to talk to other people, not to like let it vibrate in a room of nothingness.
Wow, that's powerful.
Strange. Yeah. So do you have any other further like tips, like little practices where they can bring their voice into like their this or?
Yeah, just to root the voice in the emotions and sensations in the body, to scan the body, not to change anything, just to scan it, to see where energy is located, what are the emotions that I have, what are the thoughts that are running through, and to give it more space instead of trying to changing it, just to give it more space, to let it grow, 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 and then gently imagining that my voice is like a roots of a tree. They're rooted in these sensations, in this emotion, and then to just start this intuitive little tune. Yeah, this little melody. It goes, and to look for the places where the voice is kind of starting to be shaky or broken or outside of my control, where it's different, and to explore and to celebrate these areas, to celebrate them, to enjoy these places of the voice where it's not what I wanted to, where it surprised me, to linger there and to kind of amplify it and start playing with it and find its beauty and to amplify its beauty. And then this creates a new realm of your own voice. Like try and sing on your weeping voice. When we really cry and we go, think about the vocal qualities of this area.
Wow.
There's so much beauty in that area.
Yeah.
or in my cracked morning voice. It's this ancient wisdom. There's so much beauty to explore, just curiosity, open instead of judgment and ideas, open curiosity and this exploration, adventurous mood when you explore your voice.
I love it. Do you have any suggestions for types of music to put on to invite this freedom of voice exercise?
There's different kind of dimensions you can go with that. You can go with the music that you love the most and then sing in the shower, or in your car, or celebrate that. And there's just this music that is kind of empty. There's repetitive and empty, and then you play on that. It's like a shruti box that is going on, and you kind of sing on top of that. It's actually I have this recording project. I'm recording a new and original song once a month, and I'm sending it to my subscribers only. Yeah, so I'm kind of always I have to create more songs. And now the last song that I did and the next one and the few songs that I'm going to do now, I call them the singing circle templates. So the thing about those is they are this background music for an individual or a group to improvise and to sing on top of. If you don't have the musician to hold the guitar, so you just press play, and it's like a 9-10 minute musical journey that leaves a lot of space for your voice. Until I've started creating those, I've been working with so many different, just any kind of tune that leaves a lot of space there, and then we can sing on top of that and play with our voice and enjoy.
Like we did in the workshop.
Yeah.
Well, ever since then, I was thinking like, I'm really seeking out voice now, like with the Nadi Yogi girl. I'm really trying to find more spaces to utilize voice and work with my voice more. And I mean, eventually I think it would be wonderful to create circle and bring it together in community and to do that. So I'd be very interested in.
Yes. The time is now.
Yes.
Sister, the time is now.
Even when you're a complete beginner, like I didn't even know how to use my voice in any way before a couple months ago.
But you're not a complete beginner. You've been working, as we've spoken about that. You've started since day one. You've been working with it, and
it's true,
and you bring your life's experience, and eventually the voice is just the method. It's not the actual thing. The actual thing is you collaborating, having a multi-participatory conversation with a bunch of people, holding space, maneuvering as a community, finding harmony between your voices, meaning finding harmony between your consciousnesses, between your presence, and it's bringing harmony into the community. So we just jump inside. It's not about you don't need to get anywhere. You just need to strive towards.
That's good advice for anybody striving towards anything that they're wanting to do.
Yeah. Just invite a bunch of friends to your home and say, hey, I'm inviting you for a vocal experiment. And do it once a month. And it will teach you, because there is no way better to learn how to hold space than to hold space. You cannot practice by yourself holding space. You need the other people. You need this zest of energy and excitement and fear and all of these sensations and emotions that are intertwining and rumbling inside in order to work with it, to learn how to work with it. So just invite for a vocal experiment, for a singing circle with a prayer drum, and contain it and say, okay, 30 minutes. Now in the next 30 minutes, maybe it'll get boring, maybe it'll get weird, but for the next 30 minutes, we're in that. We're not talking about daily stuff. We're not taking this to any other direction, and to start working, to learn together.
Yeah. I love that. I love that advice. And that's advice that anybody can do who feels inspired to.
Anyone. anyone. And soon I will have like a bunch of the singing circle templates. I'll have like 5 or 6 of them to give as a package, so you can have like an hour of music to kind of, and all you have to do is kind of guide it, invite the people, and play with the volume a little bit. Take it down. So it's always a bit under the fabric of voices and kind of pushing up.
Yeah, that was like what I was wondering when I was looking through your stuff, is like, where are his like facilitator courses to like start doing these workshops for other people? Because I'm waiting for them.
Yeah. Well, what you did is that what we did in La Presencia and in what I did in Mazunte and what I did now in Israel, the Vocal Freedom, and I'm going to do it all over Europe now. In a month, I'm going for a tour in Europe in major cities to do this work. Is basically, it's through the experience you learn about how to facilitate it. Through being exposed to this way of holding space, you get exposed to this method, to this vibration, and then you can go and practice it.
It's all an experience.
It's all an experience. Nobody taught me how to do what I do. I just kind of tried it and did mistakes. And
wow. I love it. I love it all so much. Sky, do you have any questions?
No, I do not have any questions. I just have gratitude. I think all will be revealed. I'm going to sign up and listen to your monthly songs, and I think that'll be,
welcome on board. There's also a monthly gathering that we do. So it's an international situation via Zoom that. So you have people from Israel and Europe and Americas and stuff, and we all gather once a month and we kind of play some songs and some sharings and just holding a global space of this community that is there to squeeze out music through this Uria thing that I am.
Squeeze out the music. Okay, now it's going to be my turn to cry because I want that so bad.
Oh, listen. Yeah. It's been such a great experience. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us.
Thank you so much for opening this space. You are allowing it. If it's not that this is the regular language that or the themes that I speak about all the time. Through your invitation and your interest and our presence, this thing came. Yeah, it belongs to us. We are kind of, it not exactly belongs to us, but it's between us,
Yeah. It's a co-creation.
It's a co-creation, exactly. I might be the speaker right now, and still your presence draws these words out of me. So our collaboration brings this frequency into existence right now, and recording it and spreading it out there. So, wow. I'm so happy for that. Thank you so much.
Sharing the magic. Yes, this is beautiful. Thank you for your collaboration.
So do we all feel ready to go to the lightning round?
Yeah, let's
questions. Let's do it. All right. Are you a sweet or savory person?
Sweet.
We get such 50-50 answers with that. Surprises me. And your favorite book?
Well, a very early one that I read that kind of opened my path was The Divine Prophecy.
Yes.
Which is
yes.
Yeah. This and Conversations with God were the first ones that I read, and suddenly I was something clicked. I was like, okay, there's something happening here.
Oh yeah, Conversations with God was a good one.
Yeah. The Power of Now.
Oh, another good one.
Mm-hmm.
So many good ones out there.
Yeah.
And what is your love language?
What is my love language? Music.
I love it. What is your favorite personal ritual?
My favorite personal ritual. I don't know. The first thing that came is it's not personal. It's holding space. It's something that it's a ritual. It's something that I go through. It's something that I do a lot. So every time it's like this buildup that goes through feeling it, being shook by it, realizing that I'm connecting to something wider than me right now. Even though we haven't met yet, I'm feeling this energy. So it's like before we met, just before this conversation, I was like, my partner, she's gone for 2 days, and I'm with the kids, and I had to put them to sleep in time so we can have this conversation. And I found myself starting to stress out. I was like, oh, maybe I won't be ready in time, and I won't be like relaxed into this conversation. And then I realized, just when we started talking, I was like, oh, okay, this was kind of me stepping out of my comfort zone. This was how it looked like this time, So, and this is a ritual. It's a regular thing. It's me being kind of shaky a little moment before, and then it starts, and I relax into it, and then moves into action, moves into progress, and and then it reveals itself. I also understand, like, it's connecting dots inside of me.
Moving through the fear and apprehension, there's just so much magic in that. I find over and over again in life.
Yeah. So maybe this will be my favorite ritual, moving through fear.
Yeah. I like that. Okay. Oh, and we have one last one. What do you love most about being you right now?
The privilege of being free to move around in this world, carrying my passion and the gifts that I've received. So, yeah, I see that it's not taken for granted. It's not so very common, and I appreciate that a lot. This, maybe this is the second one, and the first one will be my relationship with my partner, with Titali, which is, it's the greatest gift I think I've received. This is my earth. This is what allows me to go out and do my things, and it's the stability of our commitment to the inner work through being in a relationship.
Wow. Relationship goals.
Relationship what?
Relationship goals.
Goals.
Yes. All right. And where can everyone connect with you?
Instagram. I'm usually posting out there. If you really want to be connected, then join my inner circle. You'll find it in my Instagram bio. There's a link, and you can join, and then you can come over to the monthly gathering or not, and just and also receive the songs and a little bit of sharing of what's going on with my life, and the music that says a lot. And specifically now, there's a tour in Europe coming up in like eight weekend workshops in 6 different countries that will happen between June and September. So it's easy to get to wherever in Europe to find an Airbnb and to join. It's not like a retreat. It's more like a 3-day intensive workshop. And it's something that I hope this will also ignite communities. Every place will do it, because different than doing it in Mexico, where it's travelers coming, it can be actually people that are living in Amsterdam or in Berlin or Cologne or Vienna. So people can actually meet a community of people that are like-hearted, that want to do this work through voice, through intimacy, to be connected to, and to keep on meeting. So, yeah. So I think through these workshops, this is like the more exciting one right now.
Beautiful. Thank you for those offerings, for all the offerings that you give around the world, and for being here with us. I feel very light and inspired, and my heart wide open. Thank you so much.
Not a pleasure. I feel the same.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I send so much gratitude and deep appreciation to you, dear listeners, for tuning in today. I hope some of the content resonated within your soul as it did ours, and that you were able to gain some inspiration or curiosity or even just some joy and excitement from this conversation. And before we go, I would like to remind you to please remember to subscribe to our podcast so that you can receive notifications of new episodes to help Sky and I realize this podcasting dream of ours. And if you're feeling extra generous today, we'd be so appreciative if you shared this podcast with a friend or on social media. Every like, every subscription, and of course, every share helps us along in our journey. And so thank you once again for joining us, Bella Cummins and Sky Gerlowski. We'll see you next time as we continue our exploration of all our pieces.